Embark on a journey into the brilliant mind of Bertrand Russell with our latest addition to QuotientQuotables' Philosophical Musings playlist. Empower your mind and cultivate critical thinking with this inspiring quote from Bertrand Russell, a renowned British philosopher. Discover the transformative power of education in shaping independent and intellectually curious individuals. Explore timeless wisdom from the Philosopher and Logician as we unravel thought-provoking quotes on intelligence, doubt, and the challenges of the modern world. Join us on QuotientQuotables for thought-provoking content that will ignite your intellect and inspire critical thinking. Subscribe for a regular dose of inspiration and wisdom as we delve into Bertrand Russell's philosophical musings. Sorry for the overlay. The universe is not static, and the human mind is not passive. We are part of the universe, and our thoughts are not independent of it. The world we experience is not the real world, but a representation of it in our minds. Our knowledge of the world is limited and imperfect, and we must always be open to new discoveries. Science is a valuable tool for understanding the world, but it is not the only way of knowing. We should not be afraid to question our beliefs and to seek new knowledge. Mathematics is a language that describes the structure of the universe. Logic is the foundation of all valid reasoning. Mathematics and logic are essential tools for understanding the world. We should strive to use mathematics and logic to solve problems and make sense of the world. Mathematics and logic are beautiful and elegant, and they can give us great pleasure. We should always strive to be moral, but we must also be aware that there is no one right way to live. We should try to understand the different moral codes that exist in the world and to respect the rights of others. We should strive to create a more just and equitable society. Religion is a human invention that has been used to control people and to justify violence. There is no evidence to support the existence of God. We should not be afraid to question our religious beliefs. We should be tolerant of different religious beliefs, but we should not be afraid to criticize religion when it is used for harmful purposes. All people should have equal rights and opportunities. We should strive to create a just and equitable society. We should be aware of the dangers of power and privilege. We should work to create a more peaceful and harmonious world. The man who has no knowledge of arithmetic is not at all like the man who knows arithmetic, but is temporarily unable to recall a particular fact. He is like a man who has never had the idea of number at all. The universe may be governed by laws, but they are not laws that we can formulate. The universe is not a single thing, but a multitude of things in a state of becoming. The chief danger to our society is not the violence of bad people, but the silence of the good people. The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. Human beings are not born with moral qualities, they are educated into them. The notion that man is naturally good is an absurdity. We have inherited from our ancestors a long history of cruelty and violence. The greatest happiness of the greatest number is a good maxim, but it is one that has been very badly interpreted. Morality is not about following rules, but about understanding the nature of human suffering. The only way to avoid doing harm is to do nothing at all. The purpose of education is to teach us how to think, not what to think. Education is not merely the transmission of knowledge, but the initiation into the human spirit. The ideal of democracy is that each individual should have the opportunity to develop his potential to the fullest. The greatest enemy of knowledge is not ignorance, it is the illusion of knowledge. Science is not a collection of facts, but a method of thinking. The great advances in science have been made by those who have dared to think against the received wisdom. There is nothing in the universe that is exempt from the laws of science. Science does not contradict religion. It simply shows religion to be irrelevant. The only way to make religious belief compatible with science is to make it a purely personal matter. War is an unnecessary evil that can only be justified in the most extreme circumstances. The only way to avoid war is to build a world in which people no longer have any reason to fight. The only way to achieve peace is to love our enemies. We must not go to war against terrorism. We must go to war against the conditions that breed terrorism. The universe is not known, it is inferred. The universe, as it appears to the senses, is a world of fleeting, chaotic impressions. We construct our own universe out of the raw material of sensation, and it is this universe, not the external world, that is the object of our knowledge. The world of sense is not the world of reality, but a copy of it, or rather a series of copies, each slightly distorted by the imperfections of our sense organs. The world that we know is a world of appearances, not of reality. Science is built on observation and experiment, and its conclusions are always subject to revision in the light of new evidence. Mathematics is a purely deductive system, whose conclusions follow logically from its axioms and postulates. Science and mathematics are the two great intellectual achievements of our race. Science can tell us what is, but it cannot tell us what ought to be. Logic is the study of the principles of correct reasoning. Language is a means of communication between minds. Clear thinking is the foundation of good writing. Logic is the only tool that we have for distinguishing between true and false beliefs. The misuse of language is the source of most of our political and social problems. Morality is concerned with what we ought to do, not with what we can do. There is no such thing as absolute morality. Morality is always relative to a particular society or culture. The purpose of ethics is to help us to live good lives. We should always act in accordance with our conscience. The only way to solve the problem of war is to create a world government. Religion is a set of beliefs that are based on faith, not on evidence. Faith is the belief in things for which there is no evidence. Religion is often used to justify violence and oppression. The world would be a better place without religion. We should all be free to believe what we want, but we should not impose our beliefs on others. Democracy is the best form of government because it gives people a say in how they are governed. All governments should be based on the consent of the governed. The purpose of government is to protect the rights of its citizens. We should all strive to create a more just and equitable society. The world would be a better place if we were all more tolerant of each other. Education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. The whole of education should be directed towards turning the pupil into an independent and critical thinker. The aim of education is not to fill the minds of students with facts, but to teach them how to think. The best education is the one that prepares students for an unknown future. We should all strive to continue learning throughout our lives. The best marriages are those in which each partner has a mind and a soul as well as a heart. Love is the most powerful force in the universe. We should all strive to be loving and compassionate to others. The individual must never be sacrificed to the state. We should all strive to create a society in which everyone can live a free and fulfilling life. The world would be a better place if we were all more aware of our own individuality. We should all strive to live in harmony with nature. We should never lose hope, even in the darkest of times. The world is a better place than it has ever been, and it is only going to get better. We should all strive to be optimists, because optimism is the only thing that will enable us to overcome the challenges that face us. The future is full of possibilities, and we should all embrace it with open arms. We should all strive to make the world a better place for future generations. I hope these quotes from Bertrand Russell continue to inspire and challenge your thinking and engage you with his insightful wisdom. His contributions to philosophy, particularly in the areas of epistemology, logic, mathematics, ethics, religion, politics, and society, continue to be relevant and thought-provoking today.